Hey everybody, welcome to the podcast for what's happening in the Chaska Middle School West Band Department. It's October 28th, looking ahead to next week. Great 3-day weekend here, Halloween, the 8th graders on their DC trip, half the 6th graders getting ready to go to Deep Portage, so lots of exciting things going on in the school. And we just finished up 2 very busy, fun-filled weeks here in our music department that included our concerts, our 7th grade tour, our Walking on the West Side event, that our rhythm section, and 8th grade flute ensemble played at, our trip to Orchestra Hall. And so now we are getting ready for a little bit slower time as far as performances, but lots still going on here in the month of November. So let me just kick things off on this podcast today and just congratulate all of the band students at Chaska Middle School West. I was so impressed with the concert. I was so impressed with the musicality. And this is the earliest we've done a fall concert in quite some time here at the end of October. And so had 2 months, a little less than 2 months, especially when you figure in the loss of the Ryder Cup week, to work up some fairly challenging music. So just really impressed. It was also a ton of fun to direct all of you and to perform some very fun music, ranging from very typical standard literature for bands to jazz to pop to a variety of different styles. So very cool. Thank you for your time, and look forward to the next one, Evening of the Stars, February 23rd. So concentrating more on what's going on right now, the 7th grade band has another performance coming up here in just 2 weeks. Friday, November 11th. For those of you who are new to Chaska Middle School West, we do this incredible Veterans Day celebration assembly that takes place at 7:30 in the morning on Veterans Day, which this year is Friday, November 11th. And we will be having the 7th grade band featured along with the 6th grade choir and the 8th grade girls choir and our 7th and 8th grade orchestra. And also 8th grader Maxwell Ullman will be playing taps to kick off that entire celebration, which will be out by the flagpole outside of CMS West. And then we move into the large gym where the 7th grade band will be performing a number of songs, including the Star Spangled Banner and a salute to our veterans called Marches of the Armed Forces. And like I said, the choirs will be singing, the orchestra will be playing, while some 7th and 8th grade band members assisting the orchestra as well. So if you are available, parents and family, that day, 7:30 a.m., we usually go for about an hour that morning, November 11th, we'd love to have you come out. It's a really, really cool presentation, very powerful, and very meaningful to our veterans. Many community veterans attend that, so we're looking forward to that on November 11th. So more on that to come. Also, band lessons will be occurring this week for some grades because of no school on Monday and half of the 6th graders going to Deep Portage later in the week. There will be no 6th grade band lessons next week. We will have 7th grade and 8th grade lessons as usual. 7th grade lessons on Wednesday and Thursday, and 8th grade lessons on Friday for that first week of November. You can get that lesson calendar on our school website, and you can also, kids will be receiving a hard copy of that and also getting it on Google Classroom here probably in just a matter of minutes from the recording of this podcast here on October 28th. And I just want to let the kids who are auditioning for State Honor Jazz Band know that that audition is due on November 7th, so that's coming up very quick. And we also have several students doing the State Honor Band audition. That one's still a little bit further out, but coming up pretty quick. That's due the first week of December. So kids, make sure you're working hard on those. Those due dates are coming up quickly. So after school this week, lots of fun stuff going on. Because there's no school Monday, we will not be having Hip Hop Electronica. That will reconvene on November 7th. Our beginning guitar class is starting this Tuesday, November 1st. That is open to anybody in middle school who wants to learn how to play the guitar. You don't even need to have a guitar. You don't have to have any prior experience on guitar. We will give you an acoustic guitar if you'd like one, not only to use during the class, but to take home during the 5-week duration that the class meets. We'll be teaching you how to hold the guitar, how to strum, different strumming patterns, teaching you many different chords ranging from open chords to bar chords to power chords. We'll also be learning how to read music, notation, as well as tabs. And you'll also get to pick a song that you want to learn, any song that you want. And I will get you the music for it, and we'll try it on the last week of the class. So this class runs from November 1st to the 29th on Tuesdays from 2:40 till 3:30 p.m. You can sign up through Community Ed at www.ceforall.org. Also coming up this week outside of the school day, our rhythm section will be rehearsing the morning of November 3rd, and our jazz band for 7th and 8th grade will both be rehearsing after school on November 3rd, Thursday. And then our garage band starts up on Friday, November 4th, which, by the way, congratulations to all the students who made our garage band and country bluegrass band for the 2016-17 season. If you made the garage band, you should be signing up again at that same community website, www.ce4all.org. And if you made the country band, that's not starting up until the first Monday in December, but you should also be getting to that and registering for that class if you made that band. And for those students who didn't make the band, if you're in 6th or 7th grade, we really want to encourage, my wife and I who run the auditions, we want to encourage you to audition again next year. It was very competitive, especially amongst the singers this year, and many of those singers are in 8th grade, so next year they will be in high school, which means a lot of openings in both those bands next year. So we really, really strongly encourage the singers and anyone else who auditioned who didn't make the band to try it again next year. And again, for those of you who made it, congratulations. It's going to be a very fun year. So also coming up, I already talked about the Veterans Day celebration on Friday, November 11th. That is basically the one lone big event that we have in November as far as a performance. I will be taking some time off actually that week. I actually will not be directing the band on November 11th. My colleague, Mrs. Ford, and my first call substitute, Mrs. Shallow, will be running the band. I'm actually going to be in Dallas, Texas for the National Music Education Convention. I'm presenting down there about our program, which is very exciting for us at Chaska Middle School West and in District 112. And then the following week, I will actually be going along to Deep Portage with my son, who goes to Pioneer Ridge. So that's one reason we don't have a lot of events during November, as I'm gone for a little bit. I will just look ahead a little bit to December. Our 8th grade band, starting in November, will be beginning our talent show prep. The 8th grade band is in charge of running our CMSW talent show, and each 8th grade band member will be signing up for a committee. The committees range in time commitment as well as skill sets. So, for example, kids can help me with auditions. Kids can help sell tickets. They can help with publicity or making the program. Students can also do tech crew and work the sound and lights and spotlights for the show, or backstage and be on the stage crew. They can also do photo or video or usher, and then they can actually perform in the show too. In fact, members of the 8th grade band who are in the garage band, country band, jazz band, and rhythm section will perform in the show. And then we also need some hosts. So I think I covered almost all the committees there. So some of those committees are very low commitment, like if you want to sell tickets one day at lunch the week of the show in January, you can do that. Or if you host the show, you're going to be very involved, writing scripts, rehearsing those, being at the rehearsals, and being a big part of the show. So kind of a cool personalized learning opportunity for our 8th graders. And I always say the talent show is my favorite event of the year. It's so much fun watching these kids put on this show. So the auditions are the first thing coming up, and that is the second Wednesday in December. I believe that's the 14th. So we'll be beginning to prepare for that event during the month of November. And then also coming up in December is our Chaska Rocks Toys for Tots concert, which features our garage bands that we do along with the Soundcheck Music Studio. And we do that down at the Chaska Cooperative building at 401 East 4th Street in downtown Chaska, and do this really cool rock concert as we also get charitable giving to the Toys for Tots charity. And that's occurring at 6 p.m. on December 10th. It's a Saturday evening. And then also our 7th and 8th grade bands will be preparing to go perform at Eden Prairie Mall on Tuesday, December 13th. So we'll be working up some holiday music over the next few weeks. Some highlights, I kind of mentioned it at the beginning of the podcast. Again, great concert on Tuesday night. We set the bar high for the next concert. Really looking forward to where we go from here. We had a great Walking on the West Side school-wide fundraising event this past Thursday, and not only did all the kids in the school walk, we also had our rhythm section perform their first gig of the year, and our 8th grade flute ensemble performed their first gig of the year. The orchestra was also performing, so it was really fun involving music and a lot of school spirit with the walkathon. Our sixth graders also had a really cool trip to go see the Minnesota Orchestra at Orchestra Hall this past Thursday. They saw a program called Watch the Orchestra Grow, and we saw kind of a historical development of the orchestra, going back to a smaller orchestra in the days of Haydn and Mozart, when it basically just consisted of strings and just a small number of woodwinds and brass and a timpani player, and watched that thing grow as they played music by Wagner and Fauré, and all the way up to Benjamin Britten's Young Person's Guide to the Orchestra, which involves a wide array of instruments, and they're all featured. So it was really fun to hear that performance. And lastly, before I go here today, just a reminder that we are on social media. We'd love to have you follow us on Twitter. We are at CMSW Band. You can also follow us on Periscope at Eric Songer. This past Tuesday, we live streamed the entire 6th, 7th, and 8th grade concert. So if you're out of town when we have a major performance, you can watch it on Periscope. And you can also get reminders through text if you would like. This is for students and parents. If you send the message at 16-17 band, and then either 6, 7, or 8, depending on what band or what grade your child is in or you are in. And so you send that message to the number 81010, and then you will get reminders. I send out lesson schedules that way, reminders about concerts and playing tests, which I didn't mention. The playing test is coming up, the due date, November 22nd, end of the trimester, so make sure you get that in. So there you go. So look forward to seeing you on social media. Thanks so much for watching our podcast. We'll be back again next week with more information. So hope you're enjoying these. We'll talk to you soon.